Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to let you guys know I'm starting a book club. As you can see from the title, it's going to be called the Traumatic Book Club, where we are going to read one book of traumatic literature, fiction or nonfiction, every month. I'm going to choose one book, or we're going to choose, depending on how this goes. And at the end of the month, after hopefully you've read it and I've read it, I'll make a video on the book. And this will be a YouTube only book club. Of course, if there's a lot of interest, maybe I'll look into another avenue of doing the club or having more discussion. But for now, since I'm not a big channel and I'm not sure how this will be received, just gonna make a video at the end of the month discussing the book and asking for comments if anybody else decides to read the book on the video, YouTube comments. Of course, I have my email in the description of every video if you ever want to email me about anything. But especially for this coming book club, which I have plans for a few months of this, so I'm hoping that it continues and goes strong, but you never know. But yeah, the Traumatic Book Club. What constitutes a traumatic book? This isn't like some sort of like horror or thriller, like torture porn, misery porn, like graphic for the sake of being graphic. Instead, it's going to be serious and harrowing stories of suffering and resilience and war and hardship. I find a lot of value from reading traumatic literature. Of course, that's why I originally named my YouTube channel Traumatic Tomes, is because I wanted to read more traumatic literature. Because I know I can handle it. I know some people have like triggers or stuff where they really can't read certain things, or else they're gonna spiral or something. I don't have that issue, so I'm glad of that. If you do have those kinds of things, probably don't join this. Just gonna PSA, don't join. But the ideas I have for this book club, of course, if you've seen my prior video on books to traumatize your family this Christmas, I've read a few books about nuclear weapons, nuclear war, nuclear meltdowns, a lot of nuclear things, the Holocaust and World War II, or just general battlefield experience in war. People that are victims of violent, totalitarian, authoritarian crackdowns. Anything like that is fair game for this club. And I have picked out the book for February. The book we will read in February for this book club. And yes, it may be a book club of one. No matter. That doesn't matter. I will still post a video on it. But I have picked out the book for February. And that book is All Quiet on the Western Front by Erich Maria Remarque, which this Ballantine book edition says the greatest war novel of all time. Now, it is a novel, but it follows German soldiers in World War I and their experiences. And yeah, it is widely regarded as one of, if not the greatest war novels of all time. I know there was a recent movie that came out. I haven't seen it. I have read a little bit about World War I, and I know it sucked to be in with all the advanced technology, better artillery, trench warfare, chemical weapons. One of the first wars where it sucked even more to be a soldier. Of course, war is always graphic and terrible for the people that are involved. But in the past, there used to be idealistic thought about war, and I'm not a military historian or anything, but I know that World War One changed things for the worse. And yeah, so this book, I'm sure there's some traumatic elements to it, so that's why I picked it. It's a war novel for February, and at the end of the month, I will post a video on this. And if you read it with me, we can talk in the comments, or as you're reading it, you want to email me or chat some other way, let me know in my email and you can figure it out. But yeah, that's going to be the book for February, All Quiet on the Western Front. Now, I have some selections for March and the succeeding months that we could tackle next for the Traumatic Book Club. It's not limited to just these 4 options, but these are the ones that I have. If you want to comment down below and suggest something, only suggest it if you're actually interested in doing this with me. And like, it's cool to suggest, but if you're just gonna comment, well, no, comment if you have good suggestions. Okay, I like to learn. I like to learn about new books, so comments about whatever. But I have 4 possible selections for March or April or whatever. Got Alexander Solzhenitsyn, One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. From what I understand, a novelized version of his time in the Gulag. One day in this life of the main character, Ivan. Solzhenitsyn's famous for writing the Gulag Archipelago, which is a massive nonfiction work covering the Gulag of the Soviet Union. So, anything Gulag is traumatic. Next up, I've been wanting to read this for a few years now. It's been languishing on my bookshelves. Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, by Anne Frank, of course. And Anne Frank was killed in the Nazi Holocaust of Europe in World War II, or of the Jews. But for a long time, she was able to hide in a friend or neighbor's house in Amsterdam in the attic with her family. And these are her diaries from her time in the attic. And while I don't think necessarily the contents of the diaries are so traumatic, I mean, I haven't read it, so I don't know, but the general atmosphere and scenario of the time, and then knowing what happened to her, is the heavy and harrowing part of this book. So, possibility for March. This one I don't know much about at all. It's Wild Swans by Zhong Chang. I found it at Goodwill recently, and it is a tri-generational account of a family's experience in 20th century China, which is before Mao, during Mao, and after Mao. And J.G. Ballard says on the back, immensely moving and unsettling, an unforgettable portrait of the brain death of a nation. This thing's huge. I saw on Goodreads the top review ever says, I think this may be the most depressing book I've ever read in my life. So that's why I think it fits as a possible traumatic read. My only hesitation is I don't know anything about China, and I don't know if this is really the place to start. But I know it is traumatic, so if people wanted to read this, I would give it a go. And this 4th possible selection is self-explanatory on why it is considered traumatic. We got On Killing by Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, The Psychological Cost of Learning to Kill in War and Society. I'm not even going to say anything about that. Look it up if you want, but it is evident why this is a serious subject. But yeah, those are the 4 books that we could vote on for March if anyone is interested, or if not, I'll just pick one and then I'll make a video at the end of March on it. But, yeah, so just to recap, if you got lost in this video, Traumatic Book Club, 1 book per month, chosen ahead of time on this channel, and I will read it. If you want to read it, you will read it. And at the end of the month, there will be a YouTube video. There will not be a messaging server or a patron account kind of thing. I don't know how to set that up, and I don't feel like it, and I don't think this will have too many people, so I think we can manage it in the YouTube comments or in my email if you want to chat about it further. But that's it. The Traumatic Book Club. We're finally using the name of my YouTube account. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you join or want to join in the future, or just want to comment and make fun of our suffering as some of us read along to these, I don't know. I don't want to call them horrible because I think a lot of them are well regarded, but hard to read works. So, yeah.